Hi, I'm Jong Kim. I'd like to talk about climate change as a global issue. I entitled this presentation The Greatest Threat because there is no doubt that climate change is one of the greatest threats facing humanity today. I've got three things I'd like to talk about with you today. First, the reason of climate change. Second, impact of climate change in Alaska. Last, what we can do. So let's get started. The temperature of the Earth is directly related to the solar energy. Some of solar energy is reflected by clouds, or other is reflected by ice. The remainder is absorbed by the Earth. If the amount of solar energy absorbed by the Earth is equal to the amount radiated back into space, the Earth remains at a constant temperature. However, if the amount of solar energy is greater than the radiated cooling effect, then the Earth heats up. To a certain degree, the Earth has a greenhouse effect in itself. Some greenhouse gases trap it in the Earth's atmosphere so the Earth can maintain its degree. But some significant greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide are very increased today, and this makes the Earth too hot, and this is the main reason of climate change. This is the graph of climate change. You'll notice the boost spot at the end of the graph has a dramatic increase over the last 100 years since Industrial Revolution. Okay, I'll talk about next thing, impact of climate change in Alaska. Have you ever wondered why Alaska or Arctic is always center of controversy upon the subject of climate change? Why Alaska is most affected by warming? Main reason is albedo effect. This concept will be unfamiliar, but it's easy if we imagine wearing a white shirt or black shirt. As you know, white color is reflect the light and black color is absorb the light. Similarly, sea ice reflects 90% of sun's energy, but ocean surface reflects only 10% of energy. So this cycle keeps repeating, and things get worse and worse. You can see that most of glacier has disappeared so much, like this picture, over the last 100 years. By this reason, the sea levels are rising. Also, these are species of wildlife which are lived in Alaska could be greatly affected by climate change. By rising temperature, their habitat will be shrinking. Also, it will be harder to get food because of competition. Okay, so what we can do to stop these problems? There are many things we can do. Conservation, or consuming efficiently, or using renewable which needs less energy to produce products. Another way to reduce carbon emission is to use alternative energy sources, such as wind, hydroelectric, and solar. Also, government can regulate CO2 emissions. All countries should build a world cooperation system and try to find a solution to the climate change. In conclusion, climate change is emergency happening. Most of warming is probably the result of human activities. There will be positive but mostly negative reaction from climate change, so we should make everyone effort to keep this earth. This is the end of my presentation, and thank you for listening.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jung-Jin Lee. Today I'm going to make a presentation about global warming and the effect of transportation in carbon dioxide emission. I chose this topic because transportation does have a lot of things to do with carbon footprint. Here, this picture is showed many things emission carbon. Yes. Here is the exact number. About 20% of our carbon emission comes from transportation. The red color. Yeah, we already know that the greenhouse gas effect on global warming, and it means that the polar bear lose their place to stand. We can see in the picture that the earth is melting like an ice cream. Then what kind of alternative do we have to save our planet? Individual changes have an impact, but it's not enough. We need government and industry to change. First, using fossil fuels such as oil and coal emit tons of greenhouse gases, which pollute atmosphere. So, developing electric vehicle can reduce CO2 a lot. We also need government to work together to lower these emissions by making people use public transportation. For example, eco-friendly buses would be the best answer. As individual changes, the tense they know driving system also can prevent air pollution, which contributes to global warming. Second individual effort would be carpooling, driving a car with all seats occupied. But of course, we should not risk it on the motorbike. Yeah. So, my message to you today is keep trying to reduce our national carbon footprint by demanding government and industry to their significant parts. Sure, there is no need to mention that our own will make a difference. Thank you for your attention.
My major is architect. I know I'm the last student of the presentation, so I speak briefly. My topic is the climate change of Korea. This is beautiful Earth satellite pictures. Let's see the Korea, which is small part of the entire Earth. The Korea's location of the Earth is very ideal. The north latitude is 43-33 degree, east longitude is 124-132 degrees. Because of the wonderful location, the Korea has wonderful climate. Distinct four seasons, not too hot, not too cold. I think this is ideal climate to live. But this wonderful climate in Korea is changing. Let's see how the Korea's climate is changing. Evidence number one. Because of the temperature increase, the area of the production of produce is becoming higher. This left side of the picture is the past, right side of the picture is the right. For example, apple from Daegu to Yeongwon, peach Gyeongsa to Chuncheon, green tea Boseong to Goseong, orange Jeju Island to Goje, grain from Asan to Gangwon. This is evidence number one. And next, this is evidence number two. This is the graph which presents the average temperature in the subdivision of the seasons. The blue line is the past and the green line is
red line is the present. You can figure it out easily. The temperature is increased. The Korea's four seasons were very distinct, but because of the climate change, spring and autumn are becoming disappeared. The Korea's four seasons are becoming undistinct. And at the last, there will be only two seasons in Korea, winter and summer. And evidence number 3. This graph is average temperature change of Seoul. As you see in the graph, the average temperature is becoming higher and higher. This blue line, this green line, this red line represent average temperature respectively. And finally, final evidence number 4. This picture is expectation of the Korea's climate in 2020. This red area means subtropical climate. Our beautiful climate is becoming subtropical climate. In this summer, there were very heavy rain in Korea. This fact is just tell us that Korea's climate is becoming subtropical climate. Then what should we do? Just waiting for becoming subtropical climate? Then how can we save Korea? Our country's beautiful climate should be handed down to our descendants. Our timid effort can make huge result. Ride public transportation, use recyclable products, reduce emission of carbon dioxide. Give our little convenience, live diligently a little bit more. Thank you for this is end of my presentation. Thank you.